What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. I'm once again joined by Tyler. We are back for another Kingdom Hearts video. In this video, we want to follow up on the Master of Masters, do another video on him, but do it with a small spin on it, a video that Tyler and I, have not yet seen on the internet. We haven't really seen in all of our comments of all the videos we've done. We haven't really seen this been thrown out all that much, and Tyler spotted this and texted me this, and we had talked about it a little bit. We want to talk about if the Master of Masters is a replica, specifically in the secret ending. We'll be playing the video. We'll have pictures so you guys can judge for yourself, and we obviously want to hear from you guys in the comments below. But we want to talk about that. We can talk a little bit more about replicas. We did that in a couple videos in the past, but we want to talk about if you watch the secret ending, and Tyler will kind of go through his train of thought in this, that the Master of Masters looks like he could be a replica, and what would that mean? How does that connect to our what's in the box? Because we did the video about what's in the black box. That video was pretty well received. A lot of people saw it, and a lot of people agreed with us, so we can try and connect it to that too. And again, we want to hear what you guys have to say as well. So Tyler, Master of Masters, we still don't know, what all that much about him. We made the video about the black box. We don't exactly know what's inside it. It could connect to him. It could not. For all we know, we don't know. But then we saw, ideally, him in the secret ending of Kingdom Hearts 3. But then, like you said, you saw something that we don't really think a lot of people saw. So do you want to run us through what you saw and what you think of it?
When you're watching the secret ending, obviously you see the boot come up, and then it's very quick. You have to really watch because you really only see the chin area, and we'll have graphics, don't worry. But you'll notice that his chin looks, well, first of all, I noticed that it looks rather like kind of roundish. It looks kind of weird, semi-cartoony, not really. It doesn't look like a human style chin. Then I noticed that it looked very extra pale, like very white. And then I got to thinking, I'm like, well, wait a minute, that's basically exactly like what the replica bodies look like. And then I was saying this to another friend of mine. I said that when you watch other other either CG scenes or whatever, from different secret endings or anything like that, you never really ever see the chin. It's almost kind of like the hood just like makes it where you can't even see their head. So this was very purposeful. The fact that you can see that chin there, and you can see it. I mean, it's under a second, but you can see it from a few different angles. And I didn't notice really a mouth, like unless I assume this is the Master of Masters. He has the hand behind his back. We talked about it in another video. So when we compare the deep dive, how the people in deep dives, or Kingdom Hearts 1 secret ending, which was known as deep dive, when we look at how those people, one was Xemnas obviously, one was Roxas, how they looked when their hoods were up, and then we compare it to how the presumed Master of Masters looks, or the only hooded figure in the secret ending for Kingdom Hearts 3, when we compare how they look completely different. In fact, it's so different that you can totally tell that in the deep dive secret ending, and don't forget, Kingdom Hearts 1, that's like almost 17 years ago that this secret ending came out. So it's not like the visuals have degraded over time, okay? The deep dive characters with the hoods on totally look like people. You can see their nose a little bit. Even when you can't see their nose, you could 100% see their lips. You can see the little indent from when the lips come down to where it becomes your chin. You can see all of that. The whole, not just a silhouette. You see it, right? You can see it's more like skin color. You can tell it's a human under there. And we can see that not only just from when Xemnas is there, but we can also look and see Roxas. You can just totally see a face. When we look at the Kingdom Hearts 3 secret ending, you don't see anything but a big round, what I would call a chin. But it's very round, extremely white, zero facial features. It literally, looking at the two next to each other, side by side, the secret ending for Kingdom Hearts 3, that character looks completely fake. which totally makes sense if it's a replica, because they're literally, I jokingly call them crash test dummies. They're literally just fake bodies to be used. So when we look at it like that, I mean, in my mind, there's no question that whoever this is, I think this is the Master of Masters. And then we had a video talking about the Master of Masters and all that stuff for Kingdom Hearts 4 and how this is the Master of Masters, and so you check that video out. But without a doubt in my mind, this is a replica body. You know, and it makes sense if you think about it. The replica bodies, they don't have any facial features. I didn't see a mouth here, because you know how on the chin, you know how with your lip, obviously the face comes out to make a lip. As the camera's panning, I never see that. All you see is a nice, like, flat but then round white area. So I don't believe there's a face. And the only thing I can think of is replicas don't have faces. Replicas were white. That makes sense. And replicas didn't have eyes, so it's not like the body isn't actually seeing the moon, but maybe. And then if you watched our What Is in the Black Box video, I said that I believe that it's the Master of Masters' soul. Then we'll go watch that video because we go into it a lot more. I believe it's his soul. So then I was thinking, well, maybe you can put a soul or something like that inside of a replica. And because it's the soul, not a heart, it doesn't, you're not going to look human. But you will have, it's almost like putting consciousness, like let's say I was to die and put consciousness inside of a robot. Let's say we were able to do that. I am not going to, like, the robot's not going to turn into me, but my mind is now in that robot. So all of my memories, everything, I am that robot now. So it's sort of like that. I'm just thinking, like, theorizing. If maybe he enters his soul into this vessel, he has control of this replica body just to use, literally just to use. He can see out of it through it, using the consciousness and all that stuff. He can see out of it, but the replica is not going to change like it did for Roxas and Shion and Naminé, because a heart was entered into it. So maybe the rules are a little bit different when it comes to replicas and souls and replicas and hearts. That's my theory. It actually makes sense, because really, why would he be looking at the moon if he literally can't even see it? That doesn't even make sense. So looking at all that, looking at the theory of maybe he has a soul in the black box, maybe Lushu has, because think about it, the Master of Masters, he had this big grand plan, or he still does, right? And it's hundreds of years old, because he knows what's going to happen. He knows what's happening in the future. He knows what's happening in the present. All of it. He knows about it. He knew that there would be a master. I mean, they never call him by name, but he knew that there would be a person, Xehanort, that would attempt to do another Keyblade War and do all these things, and told Lushu, you're going to have to be his ally and all this stuff. I can only assume that he knew that there would be this replica program that he planned to use. That's just my assumption. It makes sense. And it totally makes sense if Lushu was to go back and maybe snag one of those replica bodies or something like that, and use it for the Master of Masters. That makes sense. So we look at that. We look at the featureless face here from the Kingdom Hearts 3 secret ending compared to the Kingdom Hearts 1, almost a 17-year-old game, secret ending, where these characters, you could see the nose, the lips, all of that stuff. You could see the detail. So when we look at it like that, I literally feel so confident in saying it's 100% a replica body. Otherwise, I mean, just looking at it, the proportions of how big the chin is, it just, I mean, unless he's not human, then it just, to me, it makes no other, there's no other explanation other than the Master of Masters or whoever this is in a replica body, and that's just how I'm seeing it. I can't see any other way. Maybe somebody in the comment section, maybe you guys have another theory, but looking at it like this, I know I'm biased because I'm the one that saw it, but I'm 100% convinced that this is a replica body.
Well, yeah, I agree with Tyler. I think, when he sent me the picture and when you actually do examine it, we got a couple of views of the replicas in Kingdom Hearts 3. It was a big part of like a side story in the game. And obviously, because that's how they had to bring Roxas back and Shion back and all that stuff. And we got to see what the basic look of a replica looks like, and even the face. We got to see what the face of the replica looked like when it's just kind of like the doll, the empty shell. And when you look at that picture of the Master of Masters and you look at it, stopped, the chin, like Tyler was saying, it has what you do get to see is very bare, very, very pale, which matches the color of the replica, but no defined qualities. And yes, it's Kingdom Hearts and the way the art style and that stuff works. There's not you don't see marks on it. It's not like a Nathan Drake thing where you can see the facial hair and the aging skin line or whatever. But there are distinguishable features about actual character, and they made sure to show us throughout the game that the replicas have no, features to them until you, put in the body, and then obviously Roxas looks exactly like Roxas. So when you look at this replica of Master of Masters, it looks like a replica doll. And so when you actually look at it, I bought in to what Tyler said as well. I believe that could very well be the case. It does connect to our black box video. That is, maybe that does connect to it. Again, the black box is such a mystery dating back to when it was first introduced, and the fact that was such a big deal contains hope, and we still don't know what's in it, but we made the video talking about it. There's so much there, and it obviously has to connect to the Master of Masters in some way, and the fact that if his body isn't even his own body, and we talked about the Master of Masters in general in Kingdom Hearts 4 in another video as well, it obviously connects, and throwing in the fact that the body we see at the ending, if it is just a replica, that adds just a whole nother dimension. And like we talked about in a couple videos, there's reasons they introduce all of the things they introduce. There's reasons they introduce characters, there's reasons they introduce themes, there's a reason why they said the word souls, why they talked about souls in this game. Like Tyler said, it could be a thing for Kingdom Hearts 4. We talked about that too. There's a reason why we saw replicas. I know obviously it was to bring back certain characters, but it's not going to end there. It's way too confusing and pointless of a feature in these games to just stop at Kingdom Hearts 3. You got to think it comes back in future games as well, and what better way than to connect it to the new the new big bad guy that we had talked about as well. So guys, let us know what you think of the Master of Masters. Do you think he's a replica? Do you not? What do you think is inside the black box? Again, let us know in the comments below all those answers, and make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys are notified when all of our Kingdom Hearts videos go up. We're still doing a Kingdom Hearts video every single day for a couple more days, and we hope to see you guys there.